it quotes Harry in the book saying, "He grabbed me by the collar, ripped my necklace and knocked me to the floor." Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace have both said they will not comment. Let's speak to Sarah Robertson, royal commentator. Sarah, good afternoon to you. I think we can treat the word leaked with a bit of obvious caution here. We always know when anything comes out, doesn't it? There's a leak. However it happened, I think we can pretty much guarantee that this will be in the book.
Yes, that's correct, Ian. It's extraordinary allegations made by Prince Harry against his older brother, Prince William. We know the two princes, the two men, have been at loggerheads since Harry decided to depart the UK and the royal family 2 years ago. The royals have been bracing themselves for these allegations. I'm not saying it's specific what Harry's alleging here, but, they were bracing themselves for some lurid, explosive claims, and Harry has delivered. He has yet again betrayed his family's trust, betrayed them, things that should stay private within family. He's decided to put in the book and make money out of it, and his end game is only served to backfire on him. Yeah. Because most people feel sympathy with Prince William, the Prince of Wales. We know siblings fight. Anyone who's got a sibling growing up will have had major arguments with them and come to blows at times over the years, but blood's always thicker than water. And you don't diss your family in public and in such a huge way. And I've been told by contacts, by sources, that the relationship between the two men was already hanging by a thread. And now whatever little bit was left between them, Harry's just sort of successfully cleaved away from,
Absolutely.
This is what happened.
Yes, this does seem to be it, doesn't it, really? Because I thought the previous revelations, when he was talking about it as part of his Netflix show, when he went into a bit of detail about how he wasn't protected when he was trying to tell the truth, but his brother was protected when there were clear lies being told. That in itself, I thought, well, that's curtains. That's the end of that relationship. But this takes it to a whole other level. Why would you say this? Why would you make such a private, serious as it is if it happened, but something like this, why would you make it public, but then claim to want to rebuild that relationship? You're never going to rebuild it after that, surely.
I think it's a bit of a cry for help from Harry, actually. I know this might sound a bit of a paradox looking at it from the outside, but he says in the interview that's coming up this weekend, he says, I want to have my relationship back with my brother and father. I do think there is this sort of cry for help. It's very childish behaviour. He's throwing all of his toys out of the pram, had this temper tantrum, this outburst, got all this toxicity out, whatever's been festering between them. He's laid it out all to bear, but I think there's a bit of, hi, and I really would like to sort of come back and be back with you all. I think he knows he's now really sort of burnt his bridges, and he's thinking, how do I scrabble to get that back? Because if in the future things do happen and go wrong between himself and his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, who is Prince Harry going to have? Who's he going to have to turn to? Most friends between the two boys, they've always shared mutual friends. Most of those mutual friends have sided with Prince William. They're not going to say that publicly, but in privately, they have sided with Prince William, and they're shocked by how Harry's been acting, really, really shocked, especially because he's such a person who went on about privacy and loyalty, among the pack of the friends growing up all the way from their school days right through till now. And it's almost like he's turned his back on all of those mantras and rules that he set himself growing up. He's just exposed himself and opened up the entire family and the floodgates. But these friends, they're really just appalled and really feel for William, because they know William can't come out and defend himself publicly. He's not in a position to do that, and he wouldn't do that. That's not how the way the royal family work. The famous mantra is never complain, never explain.
Well, Harry claims they do explain and complain, but they do it via the leaked press releases. That's what his contention.
No, well, the only press releases that have been leaked, Ian, as we can see in black and white, has come from within the Sussex's camp. Yeah. Come on. How do you think the pages of that book found their way to the left-wing newspaper, The Guardian? Someone somewhere, will have made sure to have okayed that. We've seen that all the way through from the book that Meghan wrote, helped you know, the co-writers, Omid Scobie and the other lady, Finding Freedom, or whatever it was called. You know, we've seen that there has been things being coming out from the Sussex camp over the last 2 years. He can't lay all the blame at the door of the Windsors. It's a tit for tat. But I think now, with what Harry said, he's just really made things very toxic, very muddy. And people, the public are just sick to death of it all now. Boys fight, men fight, brothers fight. Get over it, Harry. You had a fight with your brother. He called out your wife on some things. Deal with it. You know, don't go blabbing and running and people are just
and that's a right royal blab if ever there was one, isn't it? Sarah, thank you. Sarah Rob.